outcomes. The second is engagement matrices. How this data will be a source for you to make engagement matrices, attendance, participation in discussions, time spent on tasks, like attendance tracking. Student attendance provide data on how consistently students are attending classes, which can be an indicator of their engagement and commitment to learning. Poor attendance may signal disengagement and external challenges that need to be addressed. And if I'm talking about participation in discussion, participation's data includes the contributions to class discussion, involvement in a group work, and engagement in online forums. High level of participation often correlate with the deeper understanding and interest in the subject matter. And the time spent on tasks, the matrix trick, just you have to be track how much time students spend on the specific tasks, such as completing assessments or engaging with the online course material. Understanding time on task can help educator access the difficulty of assessments and effectiveness of instructional design. So these are the little small things which can help us to make them better and improved educational outcomes, just using that raw data which is already with us to make a very productive outcomes for the students. The feedback is very important. If we are talking about surveys, the peer review, the teacher observation, surveys, if something is online, as in our university we are working on a blended, like the some are the online courses, some are the offline courses. So the student survey provides qualitative data on their experiences, perceptions, and satisfaction with the course. Qualitative mean not a numeric data, it could be a simple, in a simple language they can give their feedback what actually they feel about the course. Even we do have a lot of tools which can interpret the qualitative data, the language, the simple language written. This is basically a natural language processor. This is one of a part of the AI that is connected with the different kind of tools which help you to interpret that qualitative data into a actual outcome what you want to analysis. Surveys can uncover issues that aren't immediately apparent through performance data alone, such as feelings of confusion or lack of engagement. Peer reviews. Peer reviews involves student providing feedback on each other work. This data offer insight into student understanding and can highlight the strength and the area for improvement from the perspective of their peers. And the teacher observation, which is a very important asset of data, that the educator often gather data through direct observation of student behavior and performance in the classroom. Observation can provide the context to other data source, helping it identify the trend or issues that require attention. The fourth one, the administrative data. How the administrative data can be a source for us for our data analysis. The administrative data, the enrollment, the demographic information, the course completion rates. So, enrollment, for example, enrollment data includes information on how many students are enrolled in a course, which can impact resource allocations and the course planning. Analyzing trending enrollment can also help identify popular courses or areas where support may be needed. And if you're talking about the demographic information, demographic data such as the age, gender, the socioeconomic status, the cultural background can help educator understand the diverse need of their student and tailor the instructions accordingly. The this completion rates. This data tracks the percentage of students who successfully complete a course. Low completion rates may indicate the issues with the course design, difficulty level, or student engagement. Promoting further investigation and potential adjustment can be done. So now the question is how to analyze and interpret data. How we will be able to analyze the data, and then we will be able to interpret. Now we are on a stage where we do have all kind of data which is collected by the different sources, which I already explained: the feedback, the surveys, the assessment, the assignments, the observation of a teacher, using different the engagement track. These all things, the completion of a course, the course that rate, these all tracks are included in as a source of data. So now we are here to, we do have a source of data, we have a raw data. Now the question is how we will be able to analyze and interpret that data. So first of all, we have to understand the actual the terminologies about how we will be able to interpret data, and then we will be able to analyze. This is not like to be just put in a tool to find out the actual outcome. If you want to even to put in a tool, you have to be preparing your data to give you your improved outcomes for you. The data cleaning, this is an important part. The data cleaning is the process of identifying and correcting or removing errors, the inconsistencies, the inaccuracies in a data set. This ensures that the data is reliable and ready for analysis. Why it's important? Because accurate and consistent data is crucial for making valid conclusions. Cleaning data involves tasks like removing duplicates, correcting errors, handling missing values, which can otherwise skew the results and lead to incorrect interpretations. Um, if I tell you like example, if you have a data set of student test scores, and data cleaning might involve removing any duplicates, or correcting just obvious errors, so you can say that the score entered as 105 out of 100. So the cleaning of data is an important part. The second thing is data visualization. Data visualization involves presenting data in graphical format such as charts, graphs, and dashboards. These visuals make complex data more understandable and accessible. So the importance of visualization is visual representation of data can highlight it, the key trend, the pattern, the outlier that might not be immediately apparent in raw data. They help in communicating finding to a broad audience. For example, a bar chart comparing every test score across different classes provide a clear visual representation of performance differences, make it easier to identify which class are excelling or need improvement. The trend analysis is the process of examining data over a period of time and identify consistent pattern or trend. So the importance of it is that understanding the trend can be help in making predictions and informed decisions. For example, if test scores are consistently improving, it might indicate that the new teaching methods are effective. If you have a student performance over 5 years, you might notice a steady increase in math scores, indicating a positive trend in student learning outcome in that specific subject. While you're talking about the comparative analysis involves comparing different groups within a data set to identify the strength and the weaknesses. This type of analysis help in understanding differences between groups, which can inform targeted interventions or strategies. Or, for example, comparing the performance of different demographic groups can highlight the disparities that need to be addressed. For example, if you compare the test scores between the male and the female students or between the different schools, you might find significant differences that suggest certain groups require more support or that specific school have the best practice worth emulating. These points collectively provide a foundation of analysis and interpreting data effectively, enabling more informed decision making and better educational outcomes. So, let's talk about the practical application in the classroom. Practical application in the classrooms, that here's the explanation of the key points related to applying data insight in teaching, like differentiated instructions. Differentiated instructions involve the training the teacher method and material to meet the diverse need of students based on insight gained from data that allow teachers to understand individual student needs, strengths, and weaknesses, enabling them to customize their instructions to better support each student's learning. For example, if the data show that some students are excelling in math while others are struggling, a teacher might provide more challenging tasks to the advanced students while offering additional support or alternative explanation to those who need it. The second thing is formative assessment. Formative assessment means that formative assessments are tools to use to monitor the student learning in real time. They help teachers adjust their instructions based on the ongoing data, ensuring that students are on track to meet the learning objectives. By continuous accessing the student progress, teachers can quickly identify area where students may be falling behind and make immediate adjustments to their lesson plan. For example, like after a quick quiz or a class activity, a teacher might notice that the most of the students didn't just didn't get a particular concept. The teacher can revisit that concept in the next lesson rather than moving on to the new material. Student grouping. These all are the practical applications we need to be do in a classroom to get actually the source data, what is effective data. Then we will able to put the interpretation and analysis on that data effectively. So the student grouping involve organizing students into groups based on their skill levels, learning styles, or other data-driven criteria. The grouping students strategically allows for more focused instructions, such as group can work at an appropriate pace and level, maximizing learning outcomes. For example, a teacher might create a small group of reading instructions where advanced readers work on more complex text, while struggling readers receive additional guidance with the simpler material. Targeted support. Targeted support involves offering additional help to the student, identify as needed extra assistance based on data insights. The importance of that thing is data can be revealed which students are struggling with a specific concept or skills, enabling teachers to provide targeted interventions such as tutoring, additional practices, or one-on-one instructions. For example, if the data show a student consistently performing below expectations in writing, the teacher might schedule extra sessions focused on writing skills or giving them some extra practices tasks to improve the student outcomes. So now talk about the challenges and the considerations in the data analytics. The data privacy. The data privacy involves the safeguarding student information to prevent the unauthorized access or misuse. Protecting student data is crucial to maintaining trust and the combining with the legal regulations. Universities and schools must ensure that the personal information is secure and used only for the educational purpose. So the challenge is that implementing robust security measures and ensuring that the only authorized person have the access to the sensitive data can be complex and resource intensive. So the second challenge is data literacy. The data literacy is basically refer to the ability of educator to read, understand, and effectively use data in their decision-making process. The educator need to be trained to interpret data correctly and apply insight to improve the teaching and the learning. Without proper training, data can be misinterpreted, leading into the ineffective or misguided decisions. So today's session is one of example in front of you to train as educator. Not all of the maybe most of you know about all these strategies, but most of the educator don't know about these strategies. They don't know about what to do the data we get from the surveys, the analytics, the all the graphs we have, this number of students present, these number of students do the assessment in a this way. So they just collect that data, but they don't know. Even after the if you giving any kind of the sessions, for example, the e-unit heads are giving multiple sessions in their departments in their colleges, and also giving them in the end of the session the evaluation form, or give them a link for the evaluation form. If we are not using that evaluation graphs for improve our sessions, improve our quality of delivering, improve our content of delivering, then there is no benefit for that one. Or if we are not well educated to know that that evaluation graphs which we collected from the educators, as against the session or as against any training session, and how we will be able to get actually, we are not able to interpret it, we are not able to analysis properly, it's mean we are giving the misguided decisions towards the ineffective decisions. So this is the one of our challenge. So the purpose of this topic to come up in front of you as educator, that you have something which is already with you. Even you are a traditional educator, even you are an online educator, you are giving the courses online or offline. In both sense, you have some of the data which is related to the students performances, their engagement, their scores, everything which related to the students, all the data is with you. If you are not well trained, or if you are not well guided to know about the how you will be able to use this data to improve your educational environment, so it's called a challenge for us. So providing the educate profession development and the ongoing support to help educators to build their data literacy skill is essential but can be challenging, especially in resource constrained environment. Okay, resource availability. Availability can be one of challenge, big challenge. Our reliance on data means depending too heavily on data-driven decisions, potentially at the expense of professional judgment or other qualitative factors. While data is valuable, it's essential to balance it with the teacher professional insights and understanding of their students. Relying slowly just on data can be lead to a narrow focus that overlook the broader context of the student learning and development. So striking the right balance between the data-driven decisions and understanding the educator bring to their practice can be difficult. So the unrealized data, that is a difficult part. That striking the right balance between the data-driven decisions and the understanding that educator bring the practice can be difficult. So this is also one of the challenges, that excessive dependence on the data-driven discussion potentially overshadowing the professional judgment and the qualitative factors. So let's have one case study, that improving graduation rates. University implemented a data-driven approach to identify students at risk of not graduating. By analysis various data points such as attendance, grades, behaviors, the university was able to intervene the early with targeted support such as tutoring or counseling. As a result, the graduation rate improved significantly. So what you can do with the data analytics, you can perform the steps early before get into the failure. The second case study is related to the personalized learning for better performance. An educator used data analytics to tailor instructions to individual student needs by tracking student progress and learning styles. The educator personalized lessons and assessments, leading to significant improvement in student performance. This approach allowed to educator to address gaps in knowledge and ensure that each student was progressing at their own pace. So these are the success stories in the real world, that the measurable impact of data analytics. These cases demonstrate how data analytics